These are just anything that I need to do that I need to be reminded. That's what I use this table for.
I know what Alzheimer's does. It will rob me of my personality. Um, I will eventually become incontinent, stop eating, and die. I knew that Alzheimer's runs in my family. And like you know, for my father and his siblings um, and my older cousins, it showed in their mid 40s. When I turned 60, I thought I was safe. But at 62, I was driving home from work, came to a four-way stop, and near where I live, and I didn't know whether to turn left, right, or go straight. This was in my neighborhood. I was scared, confused, um, angry, because my life had changed. Because at that four-way stop, I knew I had Alzheimer's. I knew that incident was a sign. You know, there is a saying that if you've seen one Alzheimer's, you've seen one Alzheimer's. It's different. Um, um, I it, I know of someone who was diagnosed at the age of 35 and died at the age of 39. Um, and then there are people who are diagnosed and 15 years later they're still around. So the stage I am in now is called mild cognitive impairment. And that's the very, very early stage. Um, the next stage, well, they Alzheimer's Association uses stages 1 through 7. Stage 1 is no dementia whatsoever. Stage 2 is mild cognitive impairment. Then there's stage 3. Stage 7 is when you're at death. Uh, at stage 4 and 5 is where, you really start to get lost. People have to watch you. By the time you get to stage 6, um, you're having trouble feeding yourself. You're incontinent. Uh, and you have to be taken care of. Someone has to be with you all the time. You can't be left alone. And so, and I've, I don't, this is, I don't want to go there. I have told my family that when it gets to a certain point, I don't want to get to the point where someone has to take care of my body. Quality of life is important. I don't want anyone to have to wipe my butt. I don't want anyone to have to feed me. So I'm checking out. You know, that's my plan. And I've been told, well, Myriam, um, you won't know. You know, you won't. You're going. You won't know. Um, and I've always joked, knowing that at some point there might be a possibility that I would get Alzheimer's. Even in my 40s, I joked, I'm going to, uh, if I find out I have Alzheimer's, I'm going to write on a note and put it on my mantle or someplace that says, Myriam, if you don't know what this is, um, you know, um, t- if take it.
Okay.
My reaction was, okay, I'm going to fight this. I'm going to do everything that I can. I read up on as much as I could. What are the best practices, uh, to stay as healthy and as cognizant as possible? And so I've been doing that. And I've also been fighting, advocating for a cure. There is nothing to stop it. There is nothing to cure it. And I'm not necessarily doing it for me, but I've got 4 children and 7 grandkids. And statistically speaking, half of my children, 2, carry the gene, and their children, some of them will carry the gene. So I want to do absolutely everything that I can for them and for everyone else who ends up with Alzheimer's. And I've got my band, for Alzheimer's. Yeah, purple. Purple's the color of of Alzheimer's. And I certainly believe that there's going to be. I have to be optimistic, and I have to always say there's going to be a cure or something to stop the progression, because that's what keeps me going. It's that hope. It's that hope that keeps me going, keeps me fighting, and keeps me wanting to stand at the top of a mountain yelling and screaming. We've got to do something. Our country is going to go bankrupt as baby boomers get older and they get dementia. Medicare, Medicaid is going to go bankrupt. How are we going to pay? How is this country going to pay for the care of people who have Alzheimer's and dementia? So it's not just my children and my grandchildren and the rest of my family. It's also for our country. You look back and say, why did I work so hard? Why didn't I focus on life? Why didn't I focus more on family? Why didn't I focus more on enjoyment, living in joy? Okay, well, I didn't do it then, I can do it now. I'm going to live in joy and marvel at life.